Welcome to Calling the Audible Division C. I am your host, GM Collectress. With me, as always, is James
Mr.
Mariani,
J Flow.
at JFlow Music MTL.
Yes, sir.
We have at Eagle FPF behind the control panel. Thank you for that. You can tweet into him if you want your non-existent tweet to be read on the show. And we have at Peas FPF himself.
Hello,
Peas
good
FPF.
people. After taking a little 1 week hiatus, welcome back.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So how's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. I was injured for most of it, couldn't walk. Now I'm walking again, so it's pleasant. It's very pleasant.
Are we going to notice?
Plus I got so many flowers growing. Very high growing
I got called a
flowers.
leprechaun by someone.
Oh, really? Tell us about that.
Pretty interesting story. I'm playing a game against an FPF staff member, and he just straight up called me a leprechaun.
Wow.
Well, you also
must,
moved
you
a
must
couple of
have,
expletives.
Were you at least wearing green at all?
No, I feel like you must have done something wrong, like pointed out an accurate rule in the rule book or something.
I did no such thing.
Actually, no. He was just alive. That
Okay.
was his only crime.
That's fair. I'm glad I got to witness that too. With
It was
that,
fun. It was good times.
we're gonna go into the recaps. Honey Badgers 32, Gotham Knights 39, pulling up the upset right now. Missed tackles, a lot of four and outs from the Honey Badgers, just cutting it close and not being able to deliver. And Gotham Knights took advantage. Tell us about that.
Really surprising, honestly, to see this result. Gotham Knights not really known for their offense, and Honey Badgers are kind of known for their defense. So to see Gotham Knights being able to score 39 points in such a critical game is very impressive.
That said, they have scored 203 points so far this season. That puts them at 25 points a game. I mean, they're not an inept offense either. So they're
Including the 39. So that means they were probably averaging like 22,
23-ish,
23. Yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, that's fair. But at the same time, like, again, I mean, not that 23 is great, but considering their team that at that point had only won 2 games, that's not a terrible offense considering the circumstance.
With that in mind, though, like this is now 2 in a row that Honey Badgers have lost after being 6-0 up until that point. Do we start to worry?
I don't look. When I saw this roster, I mean, there's definitely a lot of good pieces on this roster. Doug is a good quarterback as well. A lot of experience in this league. I think that it's not really time to panic for them. I think it's just time to, just get back on track. I think this is kind of like their mid-season slump.
Okay,
I
so
know
how do you right the ship for them then? How do they get back on track?
I mean, look, you have guys that can play, that can straight up ball. You have Moses, you have Anderson, you have McKernan, you have a few other guys. Like, they just need to sit down and they need to calm themselves. Like, yes, I think they're kind of getting they're getting excited for the playoffs a bit, and they're not playing their style of ball.
But
so
isn't that the
get back to the
concern
base.
with this team coming in with the Daoud brothers, with characters like Jeremy Anderson, Doug McKernan, and Jordan Moses? Wasn't that going to be the concern that the
Tempers would
the
flare.
tempers might flare and create this kind of
I
don't
feel
know.
like someone would have mentioned that if that was ever the case.
I mean, look,
imagine, right?
I don't know about McKernan and the Dow brothers, but having played with Anderson and Moses, they're great team guys. They have great attitudes. Like just because they played on no regard and they might have a bad rep, maybe, I don't know. But no, these are awesome football players, but on and off the field, great personalities as well. I don't think that, if anything, they need to step up in a leadership role and settle down anybody
given
else.
all those other characters, I mean, with Jeremy and Jordan Moses, with Jeremy Anderson and Jordan Moses, it's more just an issue of fitting into this dynamic with all these big egos and big loud players.
I think it comes to mind also because you said that you mentioned those guys and then you said and other guys who are also really good. So is it do those other guys need to step up? Is it guys like Matt Barsetti and Liam Gilmore who need to step up? Or do they need to really rely on the experience from the guys who have been to the championships and to lead them there?
I think you need to rely on the guys that have been there, but as well, you need guys as well like Liam Gilmore. Yes, he's new to the league, new-ish to the league, but he's a baller, right? Like he just needs to play his game. He needs to play tighter coverage. I've noticed that he doesn't exactly, a lot of defenders come in this league and they tend to kind of not be aggressive enough because it's flag or for whatever reason. But when you start to figure it out, flag is very. Contact and flag is great. So you need to kind of be aggressive, for sure, if they want to find more success.
So on the flip side of that, Gotham Knights, huge win for them. It keeps their playoff hopes alive. They're not mathematically out right now. They're in 10th. Coming up, they're playing Killer Bees, and they also, Peace, who was the last game as well?
Who's this, sorry?
We are talking about Gotham Knights.
For Gotham Knights, okay.
Yeah. So
They have, as you said, GM,
Killer Bees.
they do have Killer Bees next, followed by Brocasian.
So how difficult do you think is it going to be for them to make it into the playoff scenario, considering at the moment right now they are 10?
Yeah. I mean, look, a game
They
against
have
Killer Bees, I think they'll take that. I mean, it's a game they can't afford to lose. I think they'll take it. Other than that, I mean, Brocasian is going to be a really tough game for them, I think. Like, the only game I personally played in Division C was against Gotham Knights, and I don't think that, again, I said this last week, and they proved me wrong, but I just don't think that they have enough to beat a team like Brocasian. The chemistry on Brocasian is obviously a lot better than on Honey Badgers, and I think that alone is enough to take them out. But hey, go out, do your thing, win your game against Killer Bees, and then come out as strong as you can against Brocasian and hope for the best.
So we'll touch on this a little bit more when we examine the different playoff scenarios and where everyone's sitting right now. But next game on the docket, the Commission 21, Varennes 13. For the most part, this game was just a tale of two QBs just slinging it back and forth, and Sean Avram's experience showed through compared to Anthony Van Dram. Both excellent upper division two-way players playing quarterback. One had a little bit more experience in the league before this. Give us a little bit more info.
Yeah, I mean, I think the term you were looking for is lack of slinging, considering it was a 21-13 game. But no, both these teams have a strong defense.
A lot of incompletions as well, though, especially on the Varennes side, unfortunately.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was just going to say it was a very sloppy game. I was there for that one, and just balls hitting the ground all over the place. Just it just seemed like it was just lack of organization. Guys weren't either running the wrong routes or balls weren't thrown in the right location.
Okay. And that's just strange to see from a guy like Sean Avram, especially, considering how many reps he's gotten in this league and considering, how much time he spent with this team. So to see this is strange, but hey, you do what you can. If it's a sloppy game, you come out with the victory. That's all that matters in the end.
So Commissioner 5th right now, they tend to often play the spoilers to other teams in the playoffs once they get in. Considering they're playing, they have former Tomahawk and MVR coming up. This should probably solidify them in somewhere between the 3 to 6 range, depending on how they do. Are they a nightmare matchup for teams to play?
I think so. They could be a dangerous lower seed team, just because of experience alone, and because of Sean Avram. He can lead a team to victory, and especially in Division C. And with the defense being what it is, they can scheme up something for an offense that will be potentially a nightmare matchup in round one.
So what does this mean for Varennes now? They're currently sitting at 7th.
Yeah.
They have potential to stay in. They have potential to drop out. It's anyone's game right now. How do you suggest they continue from here?
And they play MVE and Stockton Slap in the next couple of weeks.
Considering how Stockton Slap is playing right now, I mean, look, Varennes has a good chance to win out. I personally think they will. And once you're in the big show, like, anything is possible. So again, a team like the Commission can definitely upset. So can a team like Varennes, because they got guys like Anthony Van Dram, they got guys like Kevin Laliberté, who are just studs on both sides of the ball. And Van Dram is learning as a QB, but then again, like, he has the athletes around him to pick up the slack for him.
Next game. Oh, I've been waiting to talk about
Rip
this.
time. I think we should have like a disclaimer at the bottom,
so
about to rip into a team hard.
No name 6.
Thoughts expressed by Jim Kalefis
No name
are
6.
not endorsed.
Show me your TDs 32. Mike Roy, I fully support the fact that you want to post on Facebook and request that you guys want that respect, but if you want that respect, you got to follow through, man. You can't go 40 minutes without putting up a touchdown and then you run it in. An elite quarterback in Div B, lots of experience in this league. He's gone 10-0 before in a season. You can do better than this, man. Either that or don't call attention to yourself.
Just call him elite quarterback in Div B.
Yep.
Can I get like the definition of elite?
Not James.
Well said.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Well said. Shots fired. No, seriously. I mean, the guys struggle in Div B a lot. Look, in Div C, they haven't really played anybody until now, and look what the result is. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but again, if you're gonna talk, if you're a player that wants to talk, you better be able to back it up, because there's nothing that is worse than not walking the talk.
And just to touch on what Simon Dagenet said in his article, I believe what they took exception to is they said, no name, winning close games shows character. Seems kind of ominous as well. Like, I've written way worse stuff. Jim's written way worse stuff. You know, like it's not even something really to react to. It's barely even a statement.
No,
In fact, it's kind of lazy on Simone's part. Like, that's not an analysis.
No one can hear you right now. You're speaking.
No,
There's a
it's-
mic next to you that you can
There's
talk
there's
into.
like
all of you-
100 emails going out about this every week, and
Yeah.
he still does it.
I do it because it's fun. No, the reason it was mad is because I picked against them as underdogs, saying they would lose this week's
To
match.
another
But
top
does-
10 team.
And they
this-
ended up doing what you
And
said
they
they
ended
do.
up losing.
Yeah.
But yes.
And
that's
but
what
doesn't
happened.
that make it that much more fun? I love when writers or our so-called experts here at FPF pick against my team or pick against a certain team. Like, I love that. It's the feeling of an underdog and being able to prove people wrong. But if you're going to call it out beforehand, the fun of it is to prove them wrong and then say, "Hey, look what happened."
So you mentioned earlier that they hadn't really played stronger teams up until now. Well, they have Bearskins and No Fly Zone coming up. So both playoff teams, both high in
Yeah.
contention. How does that fare for them?
Well, if Bearskins can field a roster, aka 6 guys at least, then I think they're in big trouble because there's no way they're beating No Fly Zone. Absolutely no way. And if Bearskins actually have a squad, then I don't see them winning that game either. So it is what it is.
On the other side, we mentioned Show Me Your TDs as a sort of dark horse team. They're fifth right now, but going into the playoffs, they have Lassos and Evolution remaining. So both games to teams that have kind of struggled up and down. They've had their ups, they've had their downs, but this means probably a favorable playoff entrance for Show Me Your TDs, which fits that narrative of dark horse where they can do some damage.
I will say Mike Adona played his worst game ever, having faced Lassos in the past, and has always struggled against
Oh,
Lassos
that's
defense.
right.
It was the worst game of the week
And it's on film.
ever. Yeah, it was the least entertaining game. If someone watched that game,
I
they would
don't
never play
know
this
about
league.
that.
Was it a shutout, right? It was like 26-0.
It was only a shutout, but it was just a bad game.
There's certain games, though. I feel like game of the week is often like a curse for me. I think I've got 1 and 4. I've lost with you.
Right. Oh man,
I've
against
lost,
Park
with,
X
I've lost with
long
you,
time.
Alex.
With Eagle and with
Peace, I haven't lost with you yet. Let's work on that.
Yeah, nice. Next season.
So that in mind, we touched upon the playoff tree, but we're gonna look at it a little bit more. As of now, top season and Les Bleus Branleurs have officially been mathematically eliminated.
Yeah.
So with that, you have the top 8. So
This
in
is
Conference A,
Yeah.
Coyotes, Honey Badgers, Top Sauce, 69ers, Show Me Your TDs, Brocasian, Eskimo Brothers, and Lassos all in, and then Jaegerbomb and Gotham Knights sitting on the outside looking in. But it's interesting because 7, 8, and 9, so 9 who are currently out of the playoffs are currently in a 3-way tie, so there's a lot of potential for movement here.
Well, no, Gotham Knights are at 6 points, but
Yeah, but Jaegerbomb.
Yes.
is
So
at 8
7, 8, and 9.
oh my bad,
Not
I
10.
heard 10. My bad. Sorry.
You're looking at
So you are
Conference B,
right.
James.
Yeah, no, there's a 3-way tie, and you got Gotham Knights who can catch up too potentially. I don't know. I mean, I see. Lassos is a hard team to judge just because the quarterback play is very inconsistent. This week, François Raymond played. I don't know if he's going to keep playing. Like, I don't know
Well,
if anybody's.
he was
is
hurt
inside-
at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I know
which
that,
is why
but
he
it,
didn't play.
You
yeah,
know, honestly,
how does
like,
he feel after the
coming
game?
out of that game? Like, we won't talk about it a lot, but coming out of that game, that was the most fun I've played in Division C this season. Like, just a shout out to Lassos, who are classy
Yeah.
guys all
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
there.
great guys
credit
and
where
great
credit
players
is due.
too.
Yeah,
Honestly, like
absolutely.
they're solid players. So I mean, if Raymond is able to, shake off the rust a bit and be able to throw for this team, I think this is another team that could be a big dark horse.
They do face Coyotes and Show Me Your TDs in the last 2 games, so no game.
Well,
obviously.
they'll be playoff ready if they make
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
So
That's a very, very fair assessment. On the
And-
other side, No Fly Zone, who have also locked. By the way, Coyotes and Top Sauce have locked in playoff spots in Conference A, like locked in. In B, No Fly Zone have locked in. Former Tomahawk have not, but still can.
Okay.
No Big Deal have locked in as well in third. And then No Name, The Commission, Bearskins, Varennes, and Stockton Slap. A lot of movement there from 4 to 8. And then MVR and Brunch Buddies at 9 and 10, who have not been mathematically
we got a
eliminated.
5-way tie in
Yeah,
conference.
5-way
B.
tie.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, look, the way these teams are playing, I can see Stockton Slap falling out and Brunch Buddies moving up. That's kind of what I see happening right now. Look, I mean, Joey Taylor.
Considering the trajectory that these two teams are on right now.
And
Yeah,
it's
just-
funny because Terry and I were talking about this before the podcast. So Bunch Buddies started off 0-4. Stockton Slab started off 4-0.
Yeah.
And since then, Stockton Slab has gone 0-4, and Bunch Buddies has gone 4-0.
It's like a spring
Yeah.
cleaning, eh? That's another game of the week I lost. I lost on film with you. And wow.
But,
it's
just to get it to Stockton-
anytime I play with staff, it's not a good sign.
Bunch
to Stockton
Buddies. Sorry,
Slab,
go ahead.
to Stockton Slab for a second. I mean, in the first 3 games, Joey Taylor had 5 touchdowns each game, and then recently in the last 4 games, he has 10 touchdowns total and 10 interceptions.
Yeah,
Can you-
It's
That's
time
not-
to
that-
get back to what made him
but-
successful in the first place.
No, but what we touched on very briefly last week was why they were struggling as much and why Taylor specifically was struggling. And was it because it was the guys around him, or was it because they're not used to his system? Like, what is it exactly with this team, do you think?
I think, honestly, it is the fact that he has players that don't necessarily benefit his type of play. Rupsik, Sammy Beg, Jakub Telemak, all great players.
Yeah.
They're great in the certain systems they fit in, but this is not that system for them. And I think it's frustrating as a receiver when your QB's not getting you the ball, and it's frustrating as a QB when you have a certain play style and they don't really benefit that.
So is this kind of the proof that Joey Taylor is kind of like a one-team quarterback, like for specific kind of guys, or?
I don't think that it's necessarily a one-team quarterback, considering who plays with him in B. They're not always his usual cast of characters. I think it just comes down to certain players play well with certain players, and certain players do not. Like there's a certain chemistry that goes.
You need to build around your quarterback, and I don't think this team is built around the quarterback. I think it's just a good collection of players, but it's not the best collection for Joey.
Okay,
And the Stockton Slab plays Warhawk and Varenne in the last 2 games of the season. Gentlemen, how do you think that shakes out for them?
1-1.
There's even potential to go 2-0 there for Stockton Slab. I haven't written them off just yet. I still feel that there's a little bit more to this team than meets the eye if they can solve it. I've even picked Joey Taylor. I'm in the Div C Survivor, not the Survivor, the fantasy pool. So Joey Taylor is my QB this week. So perform, or you're going to get ripped.
Was your strategy just to pick anybody that plays the Warhawks defense?
Not necessarily, no, but I mean, you always look at your matchups when you're fielding a fantasy roster rather than just going to FPF,
absolutely.
go to stats, and go click by sort.
No, of course.
The on the other side of that debate, Bunch Buddies or Stockton Slab, Bunch Buddies have faced Keyport Lock, and then no big deal in the last 2 games.
So also potential to go 1-1, 2-0, 0-2. None of these games for either team are gimmies, and they're gonna have to work for them.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I see you guys going 1-1. I don't really see you guys beating no big deal because of the defense.
He says that because he's on the team, and James.
No, I'm not on the team.
Aren't you on no big deal?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm
I
not.
thought you were there.
I was gonna play for them, but then Jordan came back because he's not injured anymore. So, no, but I got like Dustin and Josh White like sub for the Preds this year, and I speak to them a lot, and as well as Adam Rockman, and they're a good group of guys on and off the field, but also they're really talented, and they have a solid defense, especially adding Jordan in there. Look, I think this is a dangerous team, and I think, depending on which quarterback plays, like it'll be interesting to see if Jake Applebaum is back or not. Obviously, with Dustin, it's more like gritty, more based around moving around in the pocket, whereas Jake's more a pocket passer. And but they found success. With both guys right now. So
now the most interesting set of matchups is Varenne, who faced MVE and Stockton Slab, who all 3 teams are involved in this tie.
Yeah, we did mention that a little bit earlier as well.
Will they be the one that falls out because it's sort of like the cannibalism that's involved here?
I think that of those teams right now, Anthony Ventrame is still the greenest quarterback, and there's the most potential for them to fall out of playoff contention. And at the end of the day, this is a quarterback-driven league.
fair.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to go to picks of the week. We have P's back, so...
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Games of the Week. Picks of the Week. I even
There
missed
you
it
go.
from the other podcast. In the
Close
first
enough.
game, we have Eskimo Brothers against Top Sauce. I'm going to start with James.
Me, because he
What's
plays
your
on
pick?
one of those teams. I'm gonna go Top Sauce. I mean, look, I had my doubts coming into the season, but they've played lights out.
A week 1 loss didn't help either.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys didn't look up to snuff against the Coyotes, but ever since, you guys have looked very, very impressive. I've caught glimpses of games which you guys have played in, and I've been very impressed. Even Vince as a quarterback, I think he's much improved. Has a nice deep ball, and Justin McLean's a beast.
I think that both of these two players needed each other to really flourish. Justin McLean is an absolute beast receiver, but is flourishing under
that type of attack.
Vince Nardone, who plays that type of football, and Vince needed that receiver too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Eskimo Brothers. They have these moments where they just put up a lot of points. I think that'll be that kind of game. Brocasian versus Honey Badgers. We talked about it a little bit, gentlemen. Your official picks.
I gotta go Brocasian on this one. I'm really high on that team. The way they slow down the football game. We mentioned the running attack as well. They all sort of seem like pieces in a really strong puzzle. And see here, Honey Badgers are coming off of 2 losses. They're frustrated. They will want to make a statement here, but I don't think it's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think Honey Badgers are going to come in angry. They're going to come in with something to prove. I just don't think this is their week. I think Brocasian is going to take it. In a lowish scoring game, I see like 20s on each side, and Brocasian takes it.
Looks like you guys do agree, Broccasionally. Show me your TDs. We'll take on Evolution. Gentlemen, your picks.
I have no sort of reasons to think that there's any case where Show Me Your TDs don't make this happen. So I would be very surprised if that were the case. And
yeah, I mean, especially coming off a really nice performance on both sides of the ball. They answered the call on offense, and their defense was fantastic once again. I mean, look, against Evolution, their defense is playing amazing, and they're playing a team that really can't score. So, yeah, Show me your TDs.
Top Season will take on Les Bleus Branleurs. To be fair, Les Bleus Branleurs this week showed up. They were 5. Minton Tat was showed up to watch the game and then had to suit up because there weren't enough guys. And then he ended up quarterbacking. And then they didn't have a ball to play with. And their 6th guy didn't have a flag. Things are not going well. But do they turn around this week and play potentially the spoilers in this game?
I keep saying that this is going to be Top Season's week. Like, they've been getting better and better, but not at the pace that I'd like them to. And I keep thinking, maybe this is the time, So on one hand, I have a team that I've put my faith in, and they've been letting me down. And on the other side, I have a team that
you've been ripping on them hard,
is disorganized, barely show up to games. I gotta go Top Season here because they can feel the roster.
Nice, fair.
I mean, yeah, I'm disappointed in the Blues Branleurs output last week. Maybe if Minton that knows that he's gonna play before the game, it'll help and he'll play better. So look, I'm gonna say that if he knows that he's playing and he gets time to like mentally prepare himself, I think
he also got hurt in that game.
Okay.
He was supposed to sub for us in Division B and then wasn't able to go.
Okay.
So
like, is
hopefully
it week to week?
Leg issue.
Okay. Well, I'll just put it this way. If
it'll be one of those ambiguous, like on the score updates, like lower body injury.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just gonna say, like, if he's there, if he's healthy, and if he knows he's playing, then I like Busan. If none of those things happen, or if one of those things doesn't happen, then I like Top Season to win this game.
The Godham Knights will take on the Killer Bees.
I've got Ham here.
Nice.
I watched the Killer Bees play. Chris Olsen's receivers are not doing him any justice. There's a lot of drops there. There's a lot of lack of communication on defense, unfortunately. This team seems to be a team that's playing as individuals, and it's not really benefiting them, unfortunately, as evidenced by their winless season so far. So,
do you also feel like watching Olsen play, that his playbook is like circa FPF 2009? Like it hasn't evolved with how competitive the league has gotten. Like it's just the things that used to work in FPF don't work anymore. It's what I see when I see Killer Bees.
It's a very, very fair assessment.
I like the Gotham Knights. I think they build on the momentum that they just got by beating a good team in Honey Badgers. And, I just don't see a scenario where they come out sloppy and lose this game. They don't blow it. They stay alive in the playoff race.
All right, so you both have got Ham. In the next game, do you got the Coyotes or do you got Lassos?
Look, I've just been singing Lassos' praises. I think they're going to keep this a close, competitive game, but I have no reason to doubt the Coyotes right now. They've had one sort of hiccup, and even that one was a questionable one at best. I think that right now Coyotes are going to finish very strong.
Yeah, Coyotes win a close one. I think Lassos with Raymond quarterback are going to be able to make it a game. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, Coyotes are just, again, I'm not picking it against them.
Well, real men won't kill coyotes, and you guys are both real men. So 69ers and Jagerbaum in the last pick.
I want 69ers here. I think that they're a very gritty, physical team. They're gonna march the field. They're gonna take what Jagerbaum give them, and I think it's just gonna be a frustrating game for Jagerbaum here.
I'm again gonna agree with you.
Why am I going first then? No, I'm kidding.
I've been on the 69ers bandwagon pretty much all season. I ranked them really high in my top 10, and I really like this team. I really like Dean Dimitriou. Look, I don't see them losing this game. I think they come out strong. They win a close tie one, but they'll win.
So, considering my sort of rant earlier and the two teams at hand, I will let you take the next one first, and then I will respond.
Okay, I think that was...
Who do we have next?
Sorry?
Who do we have next?
Next is our next segment.
No, who's the next matchup?
Well, you didn't write it down.
Okay, so we have No Name and Bearskins.
Okay, do you want to pick the rest of the games? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Because
it's not in there.
Half second. So,
don't worry,
so what was the next game?
It is No Name and Bearskins.
Bearskins.
Yeah. So James, you want to go ahead?
I'm not going to give them the respect they don't deserve by picking Bearskins.
Brunch Buddies, Keyport Lock.
There's potential for an upset. I don't like to see Keyport I think I might suit up for Keyport this week just to beat you. So I'm gonna go with Keyport Lock.
I don't know if you're actually eligible for a release from.
I never played
after week 7.
I never played with No Big Deal.
Okay.
I played with Keyport.
Okay.
Those release rules are funny when it comes to James.
Yeah.
Apparently the rules don't apply to him.
I've heard multiple scenarios.
I can confirm with co-commissioner Alex Dacola later to see if whether or not James is
we may not release people.
Okay, so with that in mind, I am going to go ahead and say Keyport Lock with the stipulation that JFlo does not play with them, and if JFlo plays with them, I am going with No Name.
I'm very confused because
sorry, Brunch Buddies. Brunch Buddies.
Hey, I've never been more confused in my life.
Pick against Keyport.
Oh man.
And a game of none, No Big Deal, will face off against No Fly Zone.
No Fly Zone.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know that this shouldn't be even a game of the week because No Fly Zone's going to destroy them. Sorry, I just look. I like No Big Deal as a team. I just don't think they have enough firepower to even compete with No Fly Zone.
Accurate assessment.
Vote against Preds. MVE take on Varenne. This is one of those cannibal games.
Yeah, it really is, and it sucks for whoever loses this one.
No, I mean Vincent Lozo actually eats people.
Okay, yeah.
On weekends.
Interesting fact. With that, then I might take Vincent Lazo. It's going to give him the protein he needs to really bulk up and win this game.
I don't think he needs to bulk up more.
I think he's bulked enough.
So yeah, I pick MVE.
I'm gonna not agree with you on this one. I'm gonna go with Varenne. Nice. I played with Kevin Liberté twice last week, and really good player. And Vandram's gonna step up too. I think they win.
Vandram will step up, but will Stockton Slap step up over the Warhawks?
Yes.
Yes.
I already mentioned even beforehand that I haven't written them off completely yet, and despite the criticism that other media members have been giving them, I'm not writing them off, and they're still a playoff team.
I never said I was writing them off. I'm just kind of more in shock than anything else. With
Terry seems to disagree.
I'm kind of just more in shock with the way they've struggled and the way Joey Taylor has struggled. But I think against the Warhawks, it won't matter. I think they come out strong and they get back on track.
Will the commission stay on track as they take on former Tomahawk?
Me? Okay.
He's looking at you.
No, I like former Tomahawk in this game. I've been really impressed with this team. This is a team that, has come a long way, and they keep impressing me. They keep winning, and give me former Tomahawk.
With that, we go into the Survivor picks.
Right. Which, by the way, before time out, can we just take a second here?
Okay.
So I've won the last 3 weeks, and there's been 0 consequences. Just saying.
Okay,
saying.
but last week
Producer's been away.
Right.
So
True.
now we're stacking
You're stacking the three consequences.
Three consequences.
Okay.
So, next week, I expect...
Why don't we just save it for finals? Like
No,
a pitcher
no,
of
no.
beer.
Oh, no,
Or
because
multiple
it
pictures
will
of
get worse for time for the finals. So, right now, GM is indebted, what, 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, is it double or nothing?
At 3, that's not fair.
No, I can't. I wouldn't want to accept that if it was
All right,
proposed the
so
other way around.
next week, you owe coffee to James Floriani, coffee to the staff, and a homemade lasagna. Stakes raised for next week.
What about a
So-
steak?
What? No, homemade lasagna
Okay.
from GM Collectors.
Okay.
Perfect.
And we'll see what it is like. It's gonna get more ridiculous with each week. So
Oh,
if
it
you
better.
lose,
It better.
it'll get worse.
I can't
That's
wait
great.
for food poisoning.
Hey! So with that, James has actually gone undefeated thus far. Every team he's chosen to win wins. I have doubled my score and got 2 out of the previous 3 last week, which now puts me at 4 compared to James's 9. With that, just remember that I have been paying attention to who you have picked up until now, and you're on the spot. Nope.
We can't. We can't.
Oh,
we have to memorize it. Okay.
Yep.
Shit. Okay. I'm gonna pick teams that I know that I haven't picked. Then.
All right.
Gotham Knights. Give me Gotham
Gotham.
Knights. Okay. Give me. Okay. Let me open the schedule here.
Nope.
What do you mean no?
That's not how this works, James.
3 seconds here. Give me 3 seconds.
So much preparation.
Well, I don't know who I picked. That's why it's hard.
That's what this is
Dude,
about,
that's
and that's
the
why
game.
it's been getting worse.
True. All right. Give me. I'm hoping on a limb that I didn't pick them. Stockton Slap. I don't think I did. So give me them. And give me top season.
All right, GM, collect your ass.
Stockton Slap, Commission, Bearskins.
And those
Actually,
are
wait. I'm going to make my change because I know I haven't picked them. I'm going to sub out Stockton Slap because you picked them, and I'm going to pick Top Sauce because this is one of them that I can pick, so I will.
And that was our Survivor picks of the century of the week.
And this was the show. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Of the century.
We'll be here next week,
of the week.
and they're not ready yet, but this is how we end the show.
Goodbye.